Another Lyft driver has been shot and killed in Cleveland just hours after telling News 5 there was no reason for heightened concern for rideshare drivers. Cleveland police announced a second driver was killed overnight. News 5's Kaylee Olivas has the latest details from police and reaction from those who make a living behind the wheel.
Yeah, Rob, right now, Cleveland police say there isn't enough information to show whether these two shootings are connected or not. Regardless, it has local rideshare drivers on edge.
That is not coincidence. One is too many, so two is definitely too many. It's ridiculous.
Sunday night, just before 10.
Male's hurt, down on the ground, not moving.
Found near West 103rd Street and Rose Hill Avenue, shot in the head. A Lyft driver, 56-year-old Antoine Latham, rushed to a nearby hospital where he was later pronounced dead. 27 hours later.
Male's in his mid-20s or 30s for the caller, says he's not awake. The vehicle doors are locked. They're not getting a response from him.
A police report showing a man was found slumped over in his car on East 84th Street. His 2013 Volkswagen Passat crashed into a dumpster. He, too, a Lyft driver.
It's so frustrating because it's like that's another stream of income. And it's like you can't even go out and actually do your job. Your mind frame is on making extra money when another person's mind frame is on hurting somebody.
Yeah, that's a shame, man, because you know, these ride shares, I mean, they're very useful for people who don't have their own transportation and things like that. And this happened in Cleveland, Ohio. I've seen stories in Georgia, you know, and other places where you know, rideshare drivers have been hurt or killed. And I've done some videos, you know, a few months ago as far as these situations, but you know, it's a shame, man, because these people are out here trying to earn some, you know, extra income and, you know, being nice enough to share their ride with you and get you to your destination. And then, you know, return, you get in their car with the intentions of killing them, you know. And even if that wasn't your intentions when you get in the car, something happened to transpire to the point to where you act out and kill them. I mean, getting in their ride with the weapon anyway, you know, it's just totally out of line, you know, because based off my understanding, Lyft doesn't even allow, you know, their drivers to have weapons and stuff like that. So, you know, hopefully this doesn't become like a new trend or anything like that, because again, these rideshares are very useful for people. You know, it helps them get to and from work, to and from the grocery store, to and from doctor's appointments, to and from school. You know, people who are actually productive out here, and, you know, definitely rely on those things, because taxis are, you know, a thing of the past. So in essence, this is kind of like a taxi, just way cheaper. Because, you know, if you remember when taxis were a thing, taxis could get very, very expensive. Now you see how much the fare is. You know, you book the ride and, you know, you try to get to your destination. So, you know, and these people, man, you know, they have families, man. They have, you know, people who love them and stuff like that. So it's just crazy that, you know, you would get into someone's car with the intentions of killing them. And this is the arraignment of the guy right here
The state will ask for
that killed
the date will be
50-something-year-old.
February 23rd.
Okay, so we're going to schedule the preliminary hearing for the February 23rd. You're in 3D at 8:30.
So they have a preliminary hearing February 23rd. Yeah, this is the guy here that's suspected of fatally shooting. I think he was 56 years old, if I ain't mistaken. He was in his 50s. I have another video with the family, you know, making a statement as far as this, but I mean, you know, come on, man. You know, it's like the usual suspects and these type of things, but I mean, you know, you killed someone who was out there trying to earn an honest living, who was, you know, nice enough to come and try to give you a ride to wherever destination you were trying to get to, you know.
I want to talk about bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state will ask for at least a $1 million cash surety bond The defendant is 20 years old, and he is allegedly responsible for the death of 56-year-old
20 years old, man. You know, this guy's 20 years old. Looks way older than 20.
Antoine.
But
Sure to
Talk about.
20 years old.
Thank you.
While we do understand the nature of the charge alleged in this case, we would like to highlight that Mr. Dove does score a 2 and a 1, has no adult criminal history. He would reside in the city of Cleveland and does have transportation to and from court if he were to be released. So we are asking for the most reasonable bond, Your Honor.
All right. And Attorney Torres, can you give me a little bit more context about the nature of the offense?
Well, Your Honor, this is a case where our victim was a Lyft driver. Allegedly, as he was driving, the defendant was in the vehicle. The victim was shot in the back of the head. The defendant allegedly ran from the vehicle. And it is my understanding that we have video showing the defendant with blood on his person.
Okay, thank you. Based off the factual circumstances and the nature of this offense, I don't believe that $1 million bond would even be appropriate. I don't believe there are any set of restrictions or circumstances that we could adequately protect the public from Mr. Dove that would reasonably assure public safety. That sounds like a stranger incident. I also believe because of the nature of the charges, he would present a flight risk. So for those reasons, I'm going to hold you, Mr. Dove, with no bond pending a hearing.
Yeah, good job, Judge. You know, don't even give this man an opportunity to go out and try to hurt anyone else in the public. I mean, he shot a Lyft driver in the back of the head. You know, and we know, you know, these drivers, man, you know, they're looking at the road, they're driving, they're already in a you know, they're in a defenseless position because their backs are to you, their head is facing forward, and you know, you shot the man in the back of the head, execution style, really. So it's just like, yeah, good job, Judge.
So pursuant to the statute, you're entitled to have a hearing to reconsider my decision regarding no bond. I can give the city a 1-day continuance, but for under the 8:30 in the morning.
Here's a video.
Tonight, the family
here.
of one of the 2 Cleveland Lyft drivers killed this week speaks out. Loved ones of 56-year-old Antoine Latham share who he was beyond the headlines and how they're trying to heal with this tragic loss.
Our Amaya Ward joins us now in the studio with their story. Amaya, good evening.
Good evening, Russ. This family told me Antoine had only been driving rideshare for a few months, picking it up as a side job while working with disabled children. But now they're left trying to understand how a quick trip turned into a deadly encounter.
I never heard of nothing like that in my life. My stepson was murdered.
Antoine Latham's family says the moment police knocked on their door Monday afternoon, everything changed. His stepmother says she was on the phone with his daughter when detectives told them Latham was shot and killed while working as a Lyft driver on February 8th.
When they said that he was shot and killed, it just felt like they came in and just dropped a ton of bricks on my chest. My chest just instantly caved in. I still can't believe it.
Loved ones say Latham had only been driving rideshare for about 4 months. They say he picked it up as extra work while continuing his job transporting disabled children.
I mean, he was, you know, his primary job was transporting disabled children. I mean, paying it forward, you know, trying to help those who are definitely, you know, in need, because, you know, they have to get to and from, and picked up ride sharing as a side job, and terrible, man.
His fiance said that she had just got off the phone with him, and he was like, baby, I'm about to make one more run, but I'm kind of feeling uneasy.
That decision to make one last
Yeah, you got to go with your gut, you know. My condolences to the family of this man, and also the other individual who lost their lives, a 20-something-year-old who lost their lives as well, doing Lyft. You have an uneasy feeling. Don't go against that feeling. You're getting that feeling for a reason. You gotta trust your gut. That's one thing, you gotta do. You gotta trust your gut. That's that, and try to be as vigilant as possible as far as what rides you accept and what areas you choose to, like, pick people up or drop people off at. Those are the lessons that we have to learn from this whole situation here. You know, trust your gut for sure.
Trip is now something his family replays over and over.
And he grew up to be a very hardworking, caring, loved to do things for people.
Family members describe Latham as a man deeply rooted in faith and committed to his loved ones.
One thing that I take from my father that he taught me was to just always stay prayerful, to get on my knees and pray every night.
20-year-old Derek Dove was arrested for killing Latham. Even now, they say forgiveness is part of how they're coping.
I was angry at first, and I still get angry sometimes when I think that a 20-year-old threw his life away and took my brother's life.
Latham leaves behind children and grandchildren, including Kamaya, who says she's still trying to understand the loss.
I didn't believe it because my grandpa was a very kind-hearted person. Like, he would never do anything bad to anybody.
And at his service.
Yeah, rest in peace to him. And my condolences to the family. Trust your gut. Stay vigilant. Yeah, and you again, you have to, like, I hate to say it, man. Certain places, man, you just may want to just deny the ride and go on to the next ride. And it's sad to say, but it just is what it is. You gotta think about your safety first over everything. Your safety gotta come first. I'm gonna go ahead and close this for now, though. It's very, very tragic, man. Egregious, man. 20 years old, throwing your whole life away, really. For what? But if you like this content, just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.